My name is Angela A. Brunson, and I am 29 years old. 2 weeks before my wedding, my fiancé Ryan sent me a text message so cruelly calm that I stared at it like my brain had forgotten how to read. The wedding is on, but I'm spending the last few nights with my ex to clear my heart. That was it. No warning, no shaking voice, no sit-down conversation. Just one sentence dropped into the middle of my evening while I was sitting at my apartment going through the final head count for a wedding I had spent months helping build. Ryan and I had been together for 4 years. We got engaged last December after he proposed at my favorite restaurant. Nothing flashy, just a quiet table near the window, a bottle of wine I had wanted to try, and him looking at me like I was the safest place he had ever found. I believed him. That is the part that still embarrasses me sometimes. I believed every trembling word. The wedding was set for June. Everything was booked. Venue, caterer, photographer, florist. My dress had been hanging in my closet for 3 months, covered in plastic like a sacred object I was afraid to touch too often. Ryan had complained about the planning, sure, especially the seating chart and the playlist, but I thought that was normal wedding stress. I thought we were tired, not broken. Then his text arrived. I read it twice, then a third time. The wedding is on, but I'm spending the last few nights with my ex to clear my heart. His ex-girlfriend Mara had apparently reached out the month before. He had mentioned it once in passing, saying she wanted closure and that it was nothing dramatic. I had trusted him, because trust was supposed to be the point of marrying someone. I did not know then that trust can become a blindfold if the wrong person ties it gently enough. My first instinct was to call him immediately, demand an explanation, maybe drive straight to his place and make him say it out loud. But something stopped me. Maybe pride, maybe exhaustion, maybe the cold little voice inside me that said, if he can type that 2 weeks before marrying you, he has already made choices you do not know about. So I typed back, "All right, do as you see fit." His reply came within seconds. "Really? You're okay with this?" I stared at the screen, then wrote, "I didn't say that. I said, do as you see fit." Ryan called immediately. I let it ring once, twice, then answered. "Angela, please don't make this harder," he said, already defensive. "I just need closure. You had 4 years to figure out whether you wanted me. That's not fair." "No," I said quietly. "What you're doing is not fair." He sighed, the way he did when he wanted to sound mature while asking for something selfish. "Mara and I have history. She reached out and it brought up things I didn't expect. I'm not calling off the wedding. I just need a few nights to make sure I'm walking into this with a clear heart." "A few nights?" I repeated. "I'll be back before the rehearsal dinner." The calmness in his voice made my skin feel too tight. He was not asking permission. He was informing me of a decision and hoping I loved him enough to call it honesty. "I understand," I said. "You do?" "I understand that you're going to do what you want." He was quiet for a moment. "I love you." I looked toward the closet where my wedding dress hung in its plastic cover, waiting for a woman who suddenly felt like a fool. "Then act like it," I said, and ended the call. For 10 minutes, I sat there in silence with the guest list open on my laptop and Ryan's name at the top of every plan. Ryan and Angela. Ryan and Angela. Ryan and Angela. It looked like a lie, printed in elegant font. Then I opened my contacts and called Marcus. Marcus was dating my maid of honor, Elise, and worked in private security. He owed me a favor from last year when I helped him and Elise move after their apartment flooded. When he picked up, I did not bother pretending this was normal. "Hey," I said. "Weird request." "Those are my favorite," he replied carefully. "I need to know where Ryan actually goes for the next few days." There was silence on the other end. "Angela, I know how it sounds. Is this legal?" "We're on the same family phone plan. Location sharing was set up last year when we were traveling separately. I'm not asking you to hack anything. I just need help watching what's already active. He exhaled. Send me what you have. The next afternoon, Ryan left with an overnight bag. He kissed my cheek before walking out, told me he loved me, and said he would see me in 3 days. I watched his car disappear down the street and felt something inside me go very still. That night, Marcus sent me the first location update. Ryan was not at Mara's apartment. He was at the Marriott downtown, the expensive one with the rooftop bar, and the little blue dot stayed there until 2 in the morning. The next day, I was supposed to meet with the caterer to confirm final numbers. I sat across from a woman named Denise while she talked about plated dinners, vegetarian options, and whether we wanted the champagne poured before or after speeches. I nodded at all the right places, I signed where she pointed. I acted like a bride finalizing a wedding instead of a woman watching her fiancé's location move from one lie to another. My phone buzzed under the table. Marcus. He left the Marriott at 9:14, went to a cafe downtown, now headed east. I smiled at Denise, like my life was not quietly collapsing. By afternoon, Ryan's blue dot stopped at a boutique hotel on the east side. Not Mara's apartment. Not even the part of town where Mara lived. I knew because I had looked up her address the night before, hating myself for how calm I was becoming. I called Marcus from my car. He's not where he said he'd be. You want me to dig deeper? Marcus asked. Yes. Find out who booked the room. 2 hours later, he called back. Room is under Davina Cho, corporate card. She has been booking hotels every few weeks for the last 2 months. Always upscale. Always 2 nights. Davina Cho, I said. Who is she? Finance consultant, mid-30s. I'm sending you a photo. The picture appeared a second later. Davina was beautiful, in a sharp, polished way. Dark hair, expensive blazer, the kind of smile that looked practiced in boardrooms. I searched her social media and found a charity gala photo from 5 months ago. Ryan was in the background, standing near the bar, smiling at her like she had said something that made him forget the rest of the room existed. This was not about Mara. Mara was the excuse. Davina was the truth. I did not confront him. Not yet. Instead, I kept watching. The second night, he stayed at another hotel. Same pattern, same woman, same lie dressed up as emotional honesty. Day 3 was supposed to be his bachelor party. His friends had planned drinks, dinner, probably some ridiculous speeches about how lucky he was to marry me. I was supposed to be having my bachelorette party the same night, but I canceled mine. I told Elise I had a migraine. She knew me well enough to know that was not the whole truth, but she did not push. At 9 p.m., I sat alone in my apartment with a glass of wine I barely touched. Ryan's location moved toward the downtown club district. For once, he was where he claimed to be. At 10:30, I called the credit card company. Ryan and I had opened a shared card 6 months earlier for wedding expenses. I had been paying it off monthly, trusting the statements because trust was supposed to mean not needing to check every line. I need to dispute some charges, I told the representative. Which ones, ma'am? All hotel charges from the last 2 months. There was typing. I see 4 separate hotel charges. Those were not authorized by you? No. She read the dates out loud. Each one matched a night Ryan said he was working late, helping a friend, or sleeping at his brother's place after drinks. I'd like to freeze the card, I said, and require phone verification for any new charges. Absolutely. At 11:47 p.m., my phone rang from an unknown number. Ms. Brunson, this is Amanda from Platinum Reserve Services. I'm calling to confirm authorization for an $847 charge at the Marriott downtown. The card was declined and the guest is requesting approval. I looked at Ryan's blue dot on the map. It had left the club district and stopped at the Marriott. The card is frozen, I said. The person using it does not have permission. I understand. We'll inform the guest. Ryan called at 12:03 a.m. I let it ring. He called again. Then again. On the 4th call, I answered. Angela, what the hell did you do? Hey babe, I said. How's the bachelor party? Why is our card frozen? Oh, that. I noticed fraudulent hotel charges. Silence. What hotel charges? The ones from the past 2 months. Marriott, boutique place on the east side, restaurants, spa package. Weird stuff. His breathing changed. Where are you right now, Ryan? Angela. Because your phone says you're at the Marriott. Which is funny because you told me you were spending the last few nights with Mara, but you've actually been at hotels with Davina Cho. A woman's voice murmured in the background. I closed my eyes. Is she there right now? Let me explain. No need. The wedding is off. My lawyer will handle the financial separation. Tell Davina I said hi. And tell Mara you used her name as cover. I'm sure she'll find that interesting. Then I hung up. 3 months later, I can say this without shaking. The wedding never happened. I sent one message to the guest list. Wedding canceled due to irreconcilable differences. No gifts necessary. Ryan told people I got cold feet. I sent screenshots to his parents, mine, and anyone who tried to shame me. The calls stopped quickly after that. The credit card company refunded the hotel charges. I sold the ring and paid off the rest of my car loan. Davina, as it turned out, had a boyfriend she was hiding too. And when Ryan tried to cling to her after everything exploded, she vanished faster than his vows. As for me, I took a solo trip to Colorado with the refund money. I hiked until my legs hurt and slept better than I had in months. Sometimes I still think about that first text and how calm I stayed. I did not beg. I did not scream. I simply let Ryan show me who he was. Then I made sure he could not pretend otherwise.